Good afternoon, everybody. This is Tammy with the Forgiveness Connection, and I'm coming to you live from my new office location for your episode number 66 of Forgiveness on the Fly. Today, we're going to start with the deep breathing and the magnet placement that I would use in the office when somebody comes in for a session. The first thing that I would confirm with them would be that they don't have a pacemaker, because medical grade magnets can actually turn on and off a pacemaker. So we would never want to affect their pacemaker in any way. So once I know that somebody is pacemaker free, then I get out these magnets. I just have them in cute little covers that my friend Miss Jean made for me. And the blue would represent the North Pole energy. And just remember, it's cold in the north. So the blue is actually used for sedating pain and taking away inflammation, also for brain balancing at the beginning of our sessions. The red would represent the South Pole, and remember, it's really hot in the south. So I'm going to place the magnets on the sides of the head on the blue end, and then we're going to take a couple of deep breaths in. So I would just tell the client, take a deep breath in through your nose, and out through your mouth. Breath in and out. One more breath in and out. Then I would change the hand placement. I would place one of my hands on the forehead and then one on the back of the neck at the base of the skull. And I would take deep breaths in with them while lifting the sides with my hands. So deep breath in and out. Breath in and out. Last breath in and out. All right, so now we're going to do some statements today. I'm actually going to hold the magnets in my hand with the right on red and the left hand on blue, and I'm just going to hold them like praying hands. So they're in my lap, and today we're going to do some affirmations. Sorry, my voice is still bad. The cold is kind of holding on a little bit, but I had an amazing trip to the mountains, mountaintop experiences, and I'm going to come to you live tomorrow to tell you all about that. Today's my son's 16th birthday, so I'm not going to do any talk that doesn't, isn't about him today. So we'll share about me tomorrow. So affirmations for forgiveness on not wanting to be vulnerable, or on the topic of vulnerability. So let's go ahead and begin. I'm using my forgiveness card. If you'd like one, reach out and I'll send one out in the mail to you. I forgive myself for believing it's not safe for me to be vulnerable with people that I meet. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing vulnerability is dangerous and people will tell my secrets or my deepest, darkest hurts to other people. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing I have to hide the vulnerable parts of me or the broken parts of me in order to be loved and accepted by others. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for not showing up as my true, authentic self, by hiding who I really am out of my fear of rejection, my fear of embarrassment, my fear that people will judge me harshly, or my fear that I'm like the only person that's ever gone through this terrible thing. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing my stuff is way more crazy than other people's stuff, and they won't love and accept me if they know all the things I've been through, or all the bad decisions I made, or all the mess ups I had. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for feeling responsible for the pain and sadness I've caused in my life, or feel like I've caused in my life, and for not really acknowledging that sometimes bad things just happen to good people, and that I don't have to hold the weight of all of that on my own. Deep breath in. I ask the other people in my life that I've been surface level with to forgive me for never giving them the true parts of me that I'm afraid of. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for the times I did open up and I was totally vulnerable with someone, somebody I loved, a friend, a friendship, a family member, or even a marriage or a boyfriend or girlfriend relationship. And I got burned because we broke up or they didn't hold true to their end of the bargain. And then all of my stuff was out there for them to know and judge me on and tell other people about. Deep breath in. I ask the other people in my life to forgive me for holding them at an arm's length because I've been burned and I'm afraid of telling my intimate, deep, dark secrets and then getting burned again. Deep breath in. I say yes to the guilt and the shame that keeps me in the secret of not telling the truth about me. Deep breath in. I let go and I tell the secret and I let everything out in the open and I let go of any responsibility for holding somebody else's response to what I choose to share with them. Deep breath in. I forgive myself for believing this is always going to be this way in my life. It's always going to be hard for me to open up and tell the truth about me and be vulnerable. One, because I'm a therapist and that's weird. You don't tell people in your office things about you. And two, because I don't want to be judged. Deep breath in. I love and accept myself receiving other people's vulnerability and treading lightly around it and offering grace and space and honestly keeping their confidences not in the therapy setting as friendships and relationships and being a trustworthy holder of the space they shared with me that was intimate and hard for them to share and receiving that vulnerability and giving it to God. Deep breath in. Without this pattern of holding on to my stuff, the bad things, and the judgment of others that others would give about the things that I have in my life that I'm not proud about, I'm free to open massive space where I can know the appropriate time to share a vulnerability. I can trust my own intuition and my insight into who I'll share with and what those details look like and how much I'll share and that my information will be kept safe. Deep breath in. I ask other people to forgive me for any time they felt like I didn't keep their confidences or they didn't feel like I was a safe space to give a confidence to or to share a vulnerability with because maybe I made it look like I had it all together in my life and they didn't feel comfortable being that vulnerable and broken around me. Deep breath in. Without this pattern, I'm free to love and accept myself being vulnerable when it's time. And I'm free to love and accept myself trusting that even if I don't share my vulnerabilities out loud, I can share them with God. I can share them in a prayer. I can write them out in a journal. I can burn it when I'm done. So there's no evidence of the things I'm embarrassed or shameful of. And I can truly open massive space where I can let go of the things that have been done to me and the things I've done to create pain and hardship in my life, and I can start new with a blank slate, starting over and giving it all to God. Deep breath in. Without this pattern, I'm free. I can love and accept myself being vulnerable, and I can love and accept myself receiving the vulnerable things that others want to share with me without holding it for them, just holding that space of love, that space of non-judgment, and that space of grace and forgiveness when they can't see it and don't give it to themselves. Deep breath in. Let's do one more deep breath in. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is your episode number 66 of Forgiveness on the Fly, coming to you from my new office space, my actual office inside Precision Chiropractic, and talking about vulnerability and just allowing yourself to open up and be vulnerable, even though you've had past hurts. Knowing when to be vulnerable and knowing that you can be vulnerable with God and with yourself without having to say it out to the public. Okay, guys, that's it. This is Tammy from the Forgiveness Connection. And remember, forgiveness truly is key to healing and moving forward in your life. I'll see you again tomorrow for another episode of Forgiveness on the Fly. Have a great day.